Hi, my name is Mikayla and I'm applying for Sydney Catholic School's internship for 2018. So the first question we've been asked to answer is why we chose teaching as our career. I've always known since I was a little girl that I wanted to become a teacher. It was just a thing for me. And in year six, I chose St. Angela as my confirmation saint, and she's the saint of teaching. So I hope this can show you that I've always wanted to be a teacher. Ever since then, I've been seeking out roles where I can teach. So I became a ski instructor and I've taught with Perisher, Threadboat, and Go Snow in Japan. And I've taught so many people about the mountain, how to get around, and the skills needed on it. I've also been working as an age manager for Wanuna Surf Club with the Nippers in under sixes, and watching those students progress and achieve their goals is awesome. And it's this that keeps me moving forward and makes me want to do this. Just watching someone learn and use the knowledge that you've given them and wanting to learn more is it's so awesome to watch. Um, and that's what challenges me, and I'm always trying to find new ways so that kids can learn and understand what I'm trying to teach them. My year 12 teacher, Mrs. Petey Haynes, has also pushed me along this path. At a stage where I was really struggling, I had just lost my best friend. She taught me not only how to achieve academically, but how to use what I've been through to guide me along my path and make me the person I am today. And I want to be able to help someone whenever I can. And so teaching is just a job for me. And I want to spend some of my life doing something I love, I find challenging, and I can contribute to people's lives with. So the next question we've been asked to answer is why are we interested in undertaking this internship with Sydney Catholic Schools? This internship provides so much experience working with a qualified teacher, and learning for a year before we start to teach is such an amazing opportunity. Besides this, I was privileged enough to attend a Catholic high school and primary school, and I truly value the education I received. My education was holistic and my spiritual and mental development was valued and fostered. And that's something I believe should happen in every student's education. And it's something that truly happens within the Catholic system. And that's why I want to be a part of that. Um, the education I received was fostered on morality and ethics, and it has made me the person I am today, someone who is caring and kind and forgiving. And I want my students to be like this, and I want to teach students how to be like this. And that's one of the main reasons I want to be part of the Catholic school system. Why Sydney Catholic schools specifically is because I value the importance the schools place on embedding the values given to us within the gospel into the students' learning. And I want to be able to teach those students these values so that when these kids graduate, they're a community of believers and they're committed to upholding these values within society. These students will be able to understand what people have said, but not break down what they've said because they disagree with it, but foster dignity and self-esteem and the integrity of each person by living the golden rule that you should treat one another how you wish to be treated. And I think that is so important. So this is why I want to be a part of the Sydney Catholic schools, because the opportunities that these students are given and their holistic education is something I want to be a part of. The next thing I want to talk to you about is why maths. Maths is obviously an integral part of my life, and I want to pass down the passion I have for it. Maths is an integral part of society, even if the students we teach don't know it or don't see it yet. Maths is a life skill that every person should have. The importance of understanding basic arithmetic is essential for day-to-day occurrences such as budgeting, following recipes, and calculating loans. And learning maths at school not only teaches the students this, but it teaches them a pattern of thinking. So students develop three main things: a critical way of thinking, a way of thinking creatively and logically. So you can expect a mathematical equation to have a predictable outcome, and precise steps must be followed to attain this. And in that sense, students learn that mindset of how to think and solve things, and this isn't just for maths, but in anything. So there should be a step-by-step procedure, and that's what students learn in maths. They learn to think creatively. So normally we're not given problems in the real life where we can just straightforward put into our knowledge what we have, but we must adapt the question and think creatively before we can just solve it straightforward. And maths teaches students this. They're not always given problems where the answer's just straight black and white, but they have to think about what they have to do before they do this. Students also learn how to think critically. So when providing proofs, they have to evaluate each step at why they did something and why they use the formula and procedures to do this. And doing this in real life is so important as well. So thinking about these three aspects of math really excites me, because it's not only the ascent of achievements students gain when they complete this, but it's the concepts behind it that are so valued, and it creates students who are able to think creatively, innovatively, and that is so valued in society. This is the field I choose because it has such significance in every aspect of life. So the next thing I've been asked is a little about me. It's asking, what do I think I possess which is going to make me a good teacher? And I think that I'm a really reflective person. So often on my afternoon run, I like to think about my day. I like to evaluate what I've done well, what I haven't done well, what's happened. And that is really important in maths. If I want to keep evolving and changing, which is what I want my students to do, then I must be able to do that. So I need to reflect on my day. I need to reflect on what's gone well so I can change something, so I can adapt the next lesson, so I can evaluate what I'm going to do differently, so I can teach my students better. And as our world is changing, we need to be able to do this, and so do our students. So as a positive role model, this is one of the really good qualities I have. Something else that I possess is I think I'm really relatable. So not in terms of I'm young at the moment, but more that um, I'm able to understand what students think. I've going through maths at university and taking some really hard subjects, and I understand that maths is hard, that maths is difficult, and that's okay. But what matters is that you're trying, that mistakes are okay, but you're still trying. And I want to try to convey that to my students, that it's okay to make mistakes, but as long as they're learning, that is a good thing. Um, One of the other qualities I possess is I'm really enthusiastic. So I'm always up the front. I'm more excited than all of my other kids in terms of surf club and instructing. And if I'm excited, they're excited. So in being enthusiastic, I bring out a positive nature in a lot of anyone I've taught. So I really hope I'm able to bring this into the classroom so that all of my kids feel enthusiastic and excited about learning maths, even if they don't like maths that much. But hopefully they'll like the lessons and what we're doing, even if they don't understand the concepts at first. So they're the three qualities I think I have that is going to make me a really good teacher. So a little bit more about me. My most successful academic achievement so far has been the subject I'm currently in. So I've been invited into an honours level subject, and it's on differential geometry and relativity. So it's a crazy subject. It's really, really cool, and we learn about shapes in n dimensions, and they're not exactly what we think, and you can't exactly picture them, but all of their properties and the things we learn are really interesting, and it makes me realize that maths can be hard, and I start to realize how my kids might feel. But that hasn't been the most successful thing. What has been the group work I've been doing on the climb bottle. So we had to do a presentation, which I put a little bit of me presenting in just after this. But the group work, we've worked really successfully as a group of 5, and we've overcome some of the difficult barriers we had and been able to prove different properties of the climb bottle, and successfully we've overcome the harder stuff and the easier stuff as a group, and it's been really awesome. So you know how like last lecture we talked about art length, so like as I'm going around my climb bottle, it's really hard to draw, but like it's staying the same, the arc length the whole way around, even though it's like mapping inside. So the first thing is telling us about the involution, like the turn point. how it folds back in on itself. The R squared's like that bit that's going around, and it's like a constant arc length around it. So that's telling us about that. The last thing we've been asked to talk about is how are we going to contribute to this internship for 2018? And I have quite a few ideas. Firstly, I want to talk about my teaching. So I want to start some new ideas going so that kids can be in the forefront of technology. I want to try using virtual technology to help their learning and guide them through problems. I want students to unpack the knowledge themselves. I want them to be able to explore the concepts instead of me just standing on the board and teaching them. I want them to work it out for themselves so they can create further connections with the knowledge they already have and learn to adapt what they have to fix problems. I want to start using cloud rooms and things like that so students are in charge of their knowledge. In terms of working in a group environment, I think I'm a person who can take on feedback readily and improve myself from it. And I really look forward to having a lot of feedback given because obviously I'm a new teacher and I still have so much to learn from everyone. Um, I think creatively, I'm a person who comes up with lots of new ideas. And I think I would be great in a role where I could contribute to the thinking of the math faculty. I'm ready to learn from whatever anyone has to teach me. And I'm so excited to be part of this internship so I can learn and I can continue developing what I already have and adapt my knowledge to what people have to teach me. I'm a role model for young people living the Catholic faith within society. I am a Catholic and I still practice my faith and my values. And I want to be able to, for students to see that people do follow their faith so readily in society and they can do that as well. Um, and that's what I think I really have to offer to this internship.